What's up, everybody? This is Specter of Lawhouse here with our first player thoughts. It'll be focusing mainly on Shmack here as Anivia. Shmack, say hello to the fans.
Hello, fans. I'm Shmack, and I played Anivia this game. I rarely play her. I've played 4 games in ranked previously to this one, so bear with me.
Yeah, so this was a learning experience for him. So this is going to be a new series we're starting out, Player Thoughts, where we'll go through a game with the player. We'll be focusing mainly on Anivia. We're not really going to be watching any of the other lanes, and we'll see, his thoughts on why things happen and what he could have done better in certain things, and why he did, certain moves here instead of, flashing over a wall to try to kill somebody.
So basically, the reason I picked Anivia is just because I wanted to play her. The way in ranked, I really don't have a main thing. It's just whatever I'm feeling that game, and yeah, I just picked Anivia. I'll just say that Froggen inspired me to play a little Anivia. If anyone knows who that is, check him out. He's a good EU player. Obviously, I'm AFK here because I was reading an article and then I noticed we were playing. So that's why I'm just sitting here like a boss, flapping my wings.
I was going to ask that. So do you remember your runes and masteries for this game?
I go 8, pure 8. I go 2109, and the utility I actually go movement speed, I believe. Yeah, I think I go movement speed instead of mana regen because I'm going to go tier anyway, so why would I want mana regen? Or no, I don't think I even go tier this game.
You get Chalice?
Yeah, I go Chalice, which is one of my most favorite items on an AP carry. I feel like, especially against an Annie, my thought process behind this was, well, I need to survive that Annie burst, so I'm going to go major magic resist, and it turned out really well for me a lot, and you'll see why.
So recently Chalice got a new addition to its build. It could build into an item. Before it was just the Chalice, so it gave you mana regen and a little bit of magic resist, so it really wasn't useful into late game, so most APs didn't even think twice about not getting that item. They'd rather have a tier or something else. Nunu there was trying to invade, looks like, to see if he was going to try to steal a red buff counter jungle, because Nunu's incredibly good about that. He's really recently, he got his buff, and so he's been very focused in the jungle now, and a lot less as a support role.
Yeah, I've been playing the crap out of Nunu. He's OP, I feel. You just come flying in your jungle and double smite something in 3 seconds and get out safely if you have flash.
Yep.
I think our Nunu utilizes that a little too much, which you'll see why, because I get baited.
Spoilers.
No big deal.
No big deal.
There's no spoilers. They won't know.
See, it looks like Nunu wants the big wraith. They can see, counter jungling is really popular right now. If you can counter jungle somebody, you can put them behind, and then that'll improve your team's ability to continue ganking and other things. So right there, very easily, just one smite with his bite there, grabbing that golem. Looks like Zach wants a wraith.
Like, get off me, son.
There you go. So he got the pull for his Nunu there.
And this is one of my thought processes. I didn't want to come from the top to let them know that we were doing red, so I went around and it looks like I leashed blue. That was one thing that went through my mind at that time. I was like, well, I better come through here because little things like that can help out your jungler, especially someone that's focusing on counter jungling. I lose a lot of trades beginning game because this Annie was so annoying. I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to throw snowballs at you, so...
Annie probably has the advantage earlier because Annie's Q, as compared to Anivia's Q, is a guaranteed hit on something. You have to try to focus and aim where they're going to go with Anivia's Q, while she can just walk up and harass you with it.
And if I get that Q off, then it's just way more... If I can double up on... If I can get that double Q up and then go into my E, I'm going to trade better, but it's so hard to land that Q because I rarely play Anivia, like I said. I was like, ugh.
So there's an early first blood. So what were you thinking at that point where your team's trained down?
I thought we were going to lose right away. That's usually how ranked games go. Whoever gets first blood, usually that team's going to win because at this point I'm like 1680-ish, so it's like I was thinking we're going to lose. I was so negative already. I was like, gosh dang it. But I just kept concentrating on last hitting because Anivia's animation's so weird. It's so slow. It's like, ugh, and then I just kept missing CS. I'm like, I suck at Anivia. So I couldn't wait to get my ult.
Just clear all the waves all day, every day.
Yeah, just not even worry about last hitting. Just Q, R, and ball. I thought I was gonna get ganked here too. I was like, I'm gonna get tower div, watch, and I was like, I hope I do because I have egg.
Yeah, that's another nice thing about Anivia. The first gank usually won't be a kill on Anivia. You usually have to gank her twice because of her egg. She can usually get out of that first gank pretty easily there. So this Annie's wasting a ton of mana trying to harass you out of lane, but it's not really working out for her.
I know. here's my last hitting. You know, number 1. I really
Number
couldn't
one.
do anything about that.
There's
And then
Nunu.
Nunu's like, we had that kill. If he hit that, I was gonna stun him easy mode, but I was like, okay, never mind.
So that Annie got super lucky there.
Yeah.
Another problem with the current metagame is that most characters start boot 3-pot, and when you're playing a character who's relying on a skill shot like Anivia's Q, it's really easy to dodge when you have those boots. You can just simply walk to the side and then you won't get stunned or double tapped by it.
Yeah. This is where I wanted to push the lane. Hopefully make her miss out on CS, but she only missed out on 2. And she beat, and I didn't want to be at a disadvantage, so I was like, alright, well, I'm going magic resist, because she's almost 6. And she'll burst me instantly, so I was like, alright, well, I don't need AP right now. I just need to survive and get to my 6 and farm for my items.
So right now he's sitting on 15 CS himself, and that Annie has got 19, so you're close, but that Annie's got a little bit of an edge on you.
I feel like she failed really hard because all she had to do is Q creep, and she was just focused way too much on me. Like, oh, I'm just gonna harass you, and I was just like, whatever.
Yeah, that doesn't work really well on Anivia, because like I said, you have to kill her twice, basically, so harass doesn't matter too much on Anivia. If you're going to lane against her, really, unless your jungle's coming in, you want to just focus on CS. And Annie, like he's saying, is super easy to CS with, because if you last hit with her Q there, it's free mana back to Annie, so it's very easy for her to farm up.
Here I was really nervous, because she has her stun up. I didn't know when her 6 was going to pop, because she could, like, have her, like, level up on alt R and then flash and just totally dump on me. So I was really nervous. That's why I'm playing super passive and missing CS, waiting for this Nunu gank. We get her to burn flash, if I remember, because of my wall. See, that's the thing about Anivia, is you can force them to go away you want and then stun them. And I learned that right off the bat because I watch Froggen. So I watch him play. He'll put that wall up and force them to go the way he wants and then hit that. And then just, it's an easy combo for you.
Yep, I noticed that, and she did have to burn flash there. She
Yep.
probably would have been bursted because Jarvan was trying to come up, but he wouldn't have been there anywhere near in time. So right there, Nunu saying, what the fuck, Jarvan, leaving me only a single minion. So it looks like they're both just walking through each other's jungle, trying to counter jungle, try to get the other one behind. It's a lot easier for Nunu to do, though, because he does have that double smite, so you just walk in and just murder a few things and walk out.
Yeah. This is actually kind of risky on my part. I saw her use her stun, so I was like, alright, well, let's get a Q off. One thing that, going back onto that counter jungling, I could have done better on pushing my lane. If I noticed that our Nunu was counter jungling, I need to work on this, but if the person's counter jungling, you can push that lane to force them to miss CS. Now see...
So, it looks like they're wanting to go for an engage down here, so Shmack is going to make his way down there. And then there comes the stun, and knocked up and just totally blown up there by Annie Burst. And the rest of the team just happens to be walking up towards him, so very unfortunate there.
I blame my team. I got baited. Like, he's up in their jungle going for a wolf. And I'm like, alright, well, I'll go help. I'm not 6. This sucks. And then she's waiting in a bush. With
so
13, basically.
He did what he should have done, and was to go down and try to support the team if the team decided to fight, but it looks like they backed off, and then so the rest of their team there was able to just walk up and then slap him as he tried to go through a bush.
Sucks that I don't have my 6 either. I'm at a big disadvantage, but I'm not too worried because I'm Anivia. Like, if you've seen the Moscow 5 CLGEU game, Anivia can just stall game all game, like even behind. All she has to do is RQ and Creeper gone. So I wasn't too worried about this. I was just focused. I needed to CS as hard as I can now that I got my 6.
Yeah, he got it. He just hit a 6, and he has his Chalice built. So Chalice, as you can see there, increases your mana regen by 1% per 1% that you're missing. So you're missing 50%, and it's 50% increased mana regen there. So it's really easy, especially with a character like Anivia, who just uses R to destroy creep waves. But just be able to sit there and keep doing that, so he doesn't really have to worry about mana right now. So blue buff isn't as important on him, but it'd be nice. He'd basically have perma, frost right there with the glacial storm. Would just sit there and kill whatever he wanted to in an area.
At this point, I'm trying to make this Annie miss as much as CS, like harass her. I'm taking a big risk being up so forward with her stun. Like, I'm really close. Like, Anivia's range is pretty, like, short, so it kind of sucks.
he does have that awkwardly long animation, so if you do go for a last hit, you know, and you want to get that last hit, that's a long time for the character to walk up and try to harass you back.
Yeah. See, I was just thinking, get CS here, but I missed 2, so I was like, well, this sucks. But I saw my Nunu going for blue, so I was like, alright, I'm just going to push it, and then go get blue. This was actually quite annoying, if I remember. I got really annoyed. You'll see. I was pissed off. Oh, yeah. I was like, okay, I give up. I said I'm done. Because Anivia without a blue, I was just so annoyed. I was like...
So it looks like those masters that reflect... there's the I give up. Reflect creep damage, so the blue buff hit Nunu, and then it died to that reflecting damage. So Annie's trolling around here. Looks like they warded up here, so... Gonna make it a lot harder for Nunu to come around this way. I don't know where Annie's going from there. Again, Urgot dying, Soraka bananaing Taric in the back of the head, and then getting donkey punched by Ezreal, looks like. What were your thoughts on that exchange?
I thought we were going to win because we got Soraka a kill. No, I was thinking bot lane's feeding and we're going to lose because our late game is not, like, it's decent. Renekton kind of falls off, and I was a little scared of Jace because I've heard he's OP, but I don't know. I need to play him. I haven't played him, so I was a little worried. But I was just trying to focus in. If I had blue buff, I feel like I could do so much more right now because I could roam, push and roam.
Yeah, but then another problem with your team would be Urgot there. Urgot is really strong early game, but he falls off quite fast once you get past the mid game. So with him just dying and not farming and not doing anything on bottom, it's really a problem there. I think that's mostly due to his support being Soraka. If he had Taric or Alistar, you'd be able to stun and then he'd be able to have free harass. But since it's just Soraka, they can kind of poke, but if they keep dodging his corrosive charge, he's not able to harass at all.
Yep. Right here I noticed that Annie's yet again gone, so I'm just going to push. And then I notice she comes flying out of a bush, and then...
There's a flash, there's a Tibbers, and a lot of damage going out, and the Ignite looks like you will be fine. They got the health pot, and you had enough health left. Your egg is almost off cooldown, so that would be kind of funny.
That's where Chalice saved my life, and this is where I'm being super risky, trying to kill Tibbers because I hate him. It's worth it.
Yeah, so there, you know, that early magic resist was really important for him. Just having that extra magic resist did save his life, like you said. Otherwise, you probably would have died to the Comicus Ignite. Probably would have been able to take him out from that range.
Yep. I just picked up Wraiths because I needed some CS. I'm sucking at it. And then I'll pick up this wave. I got all of them except for 2, so...
That's pretty good under tower.
4 out of 6.
Another thing that you notice, so like a lot of champions now, like Anivia and then Karthus, if they're able to push their lanes super easily, they'll be able to pick up both Wraith camps, and they'll just give them so much of a CS advantage over whoever else they're partnering against in mid. So both of them have that AoE damage, you know, Karthus with his E, I believe, his Defile, and then Anivia here with her ultimate. He's able to walk up, pick those creeps up very easily, and then get out before they can really do anything to stop them. Even if they have it warded, unless they're going for one of these, they're not going to be able to stop those Wraiths that easily.
I just picked up another Null Mantle. I want to go Mercury.
So they do have a decent amount of CC, then mainly that Tibber stun down there.
Yeah.
So he's responding to that fight down the bottom. He saw a bunch of people down here. He sees Annie coming down too.
I saw Annie going down there, so I had to react.
He did react. That was a really good play there. Looks like Annie is trying to back off. Now there's a teleport there, so all of a sudden Renekton is in a bush. Very scary, so they're going to burst it up. There's a wall, and Annie just totally screwed here. Had nowhere to go. Really good wall. Renekton was on the other side of that, just had nowhere to go. The rest of the team was coming up through this side.
I really don't know the size. The funny thing is I remember I was like, I don't know the size of the wall level 1, so I only assumed, and I play Smartcast on everything. Like, I'm just, like, I don't know. So I was just like, well, I'm just going to put it here. Kind of worked out.
So Jarvan there was just backing off. He really didn't want to come flying in there. Probably would have just been picked up and died. You could have tried to, like, flash in and then grab and then try to, you know, dive out, but that's really not a smart play. They did better just to give up the dragon. They give up more kills. There's already 1 kill, and then the dragon was gone down there, I believe. There might have been 2. I don't remember what happened to that fight prior. So good job there in the Renekton keeping the dragon timer up, so that way they know when they need to gear up and get ready for that fight. Because controlling global objectives is really important, especially in high level of play. Even if you're behind, if you keep control of some of the global objectives, you can get your lanes back into a point where they can keep fighting back in their lane, even if they are falling behind.
At this point, I thought I'll stay for that extra creep wave. I have a big problem with finding stuff to do. I like to be a lot. I love being, and my thought here is I'm gonna go Catalyst because I need to beef up. Like I told you, like Anivia is so bursty without it. Like she don't need a lot of AP at the beginning. So I just thought beef up, live, just farm, beef up, live. That's all I'm gonna do all game until I feel confident that I can start slaying.
So I know that actually helps, especially against a burst character like Annie, who just wants in and try to one combo you. If you can keep that health up and stay alive, and then he's got that extra magic resist from the Merc treads he's going to be building, and then the Chalice too, you'll be able to live most of that burst. And then with his egg as well, with a burst character like Annie, he probably won't be able to fight until Annie gets her ultimate again.
Let's check it. Let's check the CS. See if I don't remember when I caught up, when that point was.
So Annie's on 91 right now to 79, so still a little bit behind, but
she's been sitting on that GP10 too, so she's quite ahead of me as of now. And I think I noticed that too. And I'm going for blue. This guy said I could solo it, which bugs me because he doesn't realize that if I get low enough health, she's gonna burst me. So, and I even said that. I was like, dude, you're dumb. And then Nunu's pings Renekton to come help me, which I thought was good. I was like, thank you.
Wall placement there is pretty interesting. Able to keep the blue buff from actually attacking you, so you can save as much health as you can. Unfortunately, though, you're on low enough mana where it doesn't matter. Renekton here, though, being a bro, going to come out and help him grab it right quick.
Yeah, I was going to be
That was very, very nice Renekton coming there because Nunu really didn't do anything there.
Yeah, I'm glad that Renekton's a bro because if I told him, I was like, dude, if I get low enough, right now I have a good chunk of health missing.
So there's another utility with a wall there. It does reveal where it goes, so you can scout bushes with it. So he did see Jarvan up there. He didn't know what Jarvan was doing. Was going to check that bush to make sure he's still not there. He was there. He saw the wall, so now he's going to back off there.
Yep.
So the utility of Anivia is amazing. If you can wall off, so a team fight's coming, you just wall off 1 or 2 members, and all of a sudden that team can't respond. They have to either blow flashes to get away, or blow flashes or something to try to get into you.
My thought here was they might have their jungle warded, so I thought I could pick off Annie trying to go stop him from counter jungling, but then I was like, oh, nope, that's not happening. So basically I'm letting Annie do what she wants, but I'm making sure that my team knows if she's gone. Like I'm putting it in all caps, I'm pinging on my lane, and I'm just randomly screaming. Making sure my team knows. And I'm just trying to farm. I'm farming wraiths right now. Trying to keep up in every way I can, like just do as much as. Oh yeah.
And so burn the flash there probably saved his life. Well, maybe yeah. So he does have egg up. So even if he did die there, the Soraka heal and everything, this Andy is now in a terrible position. Not gonna be able to pick up the Anivia from that amount of health. And the team just gonna walk in and looks like Urgot there does pick up the kill to get him a little bit back in line with Ezreal down there. So 2 flashes were burned, but it worked out better for the team because Annie died as well.
Yeah, I reacted. I knew she was looking for the kill, so I knew I had to flash right away. I couldn't. I just had to. I was like, whatever, I'm going for it. I didn't actually notice my team. I was just like, I'm flashing away, and then I noticed that my team was waltzing up. So I was like, oh, that's an easy kill. I'm just gonna sit here and egg, no worries.
No worries.
I burned as much as I could on her too, so I could get her as weak.
Another problem with that engage too is you were out of mana when that Andy came busting around that corner. So really didn't have any chance to fight that, but it worked out because your team was there.
And see, right now I'm going in a super farm mode, which I do a lot. As I try to get as much, I'm taking everything from our jungle because I honestly think I'm way more important than he is. So I was just like.
Well, because Nunu's main goal is just kind of be there, be a little bit tanky, slow people, then increase the DPS of your carry. And the problem, though, is Urgot doesn't rely on attack speed from that Blood Boy, so it's not going to matter. So they're able to tower dive down there and pick up some kills. It looks like he might drop the tower. Yeah, there it goes.
At this point, I'm thinking, well, that's good. Now my bot is not totally sucking, and they're actually trading efficiently, so my thought is, yeah, that's good. And really, top's been just a farm fest, I think, or just bruising, just like hitting each other all game. So I don't know. I don't know how exactly Renekton does this game. I don't remember him doing much.
Doesn't seem like much has happened up top. I haven't seen many kills or deaths up there this match. Looks like Andy was going to try to get that, but looks like that tower is going to drop. It's sitting on low health there at 320.
Yeah, at this point, I think he's saying that Jace is, I think he said that Jace is pretty strong and that he can't really handle him. And I don't think Renekton can.
So the thing with Jace and his unique features is that he's ranged and melee from level 1. Unlike Nidalee, who switches at level 6, he can do it all the time and just keep spamming moves. He has such a long combo once he hits level 3. If he grabs all of his moves, hit you with the first 3 from Mallet, switch over to his crossbow thing, and then he has another 3 moves he can use. So that's a lot of harass coming out from very early on. So it looks like they do want to chase him down there. Got Nuno and Renekton. Annie is coming through though, so we'll see what this fight goes like. So Jarvan's coming in, so there's Anivia popping up Qs and stuff. Dropping her ultimate, they're able to pick up the kill. It looks like Renekton's getting kind of low, but Annie doesn't really look like she wants to fight. It looks like her combo is down, so she can't really do too much.
At this point, I'm out of mana, so I'm just going to auto-attack and try to stall as much as I can.
Slowing him down. It looks like your team's on low health, but Annie doesn't have her combo up, so this could go well for you.
We're just kiting her at this point.
Luckily enough, you have just enough mana there to pop your ultimate and then pick her up there. There was an Ezreal ultimate trying to help out, but Renekton had already died from that exchange.
And I noticed, and I thought right after those exchanges, I was thinking I need to upgrade to my Chalice immediately. Like, I need to try to get that up because I feel like since I know I'm picking up kills, that the unique thing about the Athene's Holy Grail is if you get a kill, you get like 12.5% of your mana back or whatever per kill, and that's just like godly on Anivia. You can get a chunk of mana back. That's just so much damage coming back at them. And that's
because you have that sustained damage coming out from your ultimate, and then also your cooldowns aren't that long. As you can see, they come back relatively quickly. Unlike Annie, who's relying on that first like initial burst, and then she can kind of poke at you after that. So like as you saw there, she really couldn't do anything. Everybody was low, but her cooldowns are so long, and her ultimate, without her ultimate, she just doesn't have enough damage to fight back. So as you can see, Anivia here just melting through creeps. He knows Jace is there, so he's not really going to do much. He's going to slowly back up. Jace is trying to go back up top, looks like. I thought he was going to come around there, but he didn't.
I thought he was going to come steal my blue. I was ready to fight to the death for that. No fear.
As you can see, like, Anivia is very good here with that wall placement, able to just keep out scot-free for the most part, while this golem just slowly dies. You could ignite it and get the kill faster. Were you thinking you would do that?
I've always thought about doing stuff like that, but only with jungle. Just randomly if they're a weak-ass jungler. Sorry for the language. Jelly!
So anyway, it looks like that team fight's going on down there. Nobody's died yet. It looks like Nunu's probably going to drop there. Ezreal's going to try to get away, but Urgot does enough damage right now to pick him up.
Yeah, he's so tanky. Ezreal can't do anything against him now, and I realize, well, it's pretty good for us. Our Urgot's tanky, and which is good for shuts down their AD. And my the good thing about Anivia's ultimate is it slows down attack too. So like if I could just put that down on a group of people, it's gonna slow their attack speed, stuff like that. So we're just totally built on shutting down their ADs, and they have quite a bit of AD.
Yep. So it works out really well in their favor. So apparently this Jarvan is the worst Jarvan in NA. He's calling himself that, so I don't know if he just isn't doing anything for his team or what. Doesn't really have much going for him. He's got his Wriggles and a Heart of Gold, but it looks like he's pretty far behind compared to a lot of the other characters in the game right now.
At this point, I'm being super risky being up so far, and I realize it too. I was like, well, here comes Jace. I juked him so hard right now. I pretended like I was gonna flash, and then I was like, okay, well I'm just gonna, walk away.
That was a really good play. They just like pretended to like hug that wall, so it looks like he was gonna flash. That guy went around trying to get him in this, so he was just able to go. Jarvan should have been kept coming. If that would have happened, they might have been able to get him down to egg there because his egg was up. This Taric completely out of place.
I don't know what he was thinking.
I think he wanted to ward around here, but just so out of place that Israel knows he
just
can't stay there. Yeah.
I was like, oh lol, you're not going anywhere.
So he flashes. So let's see what happens here. Oh, Starfall too strong. So Jace and everybody else coming in now. So this is gonna be a dangerous situation for him. And the entire enemy team is coming here. Urgot's kind of out of place. Gonna have to fight that Annie by himself. Everybody's getting super low, and then there's Anivia on the very edge. So if Jarvan walks just in range of that ultimate, so he's gonna have to back out of there. Unfortunately, Zach does get picked up, and the rest of the team looks like they're in a lot of trouble here, having to run away.
I was really annoyed at that Nunu because he flashed out of that ult, but he could have stayed in there. What's Jarvan gonna do to CC him? He could have hit all three of them, but he flashes out, then ults only gets Jarvan, and I was like, what? I was so confused of why he did that. He could have played it way better. I could have too. I could have gotten out of there sooner, but I was slowed for a billion because of Ezreal. I think he actually has Trinity.
Let's find out. What does Ezreal have?
Yo,
Oh, he's got the
phage,
phage,
yep.
so it did work out for him.
I think it did proc on me because I remember I was slowed and I tried to ultimate to slow everyone else.
Well, the thing is, Ezreal has such a high chance to proc. It looks like Nunu wanted to counter jungle there, but not in a good position to do it. Ezreal on blue buff. Ezreal has so much chance to proc with on hit effects. His Q does it. Then after he keeps hitting moves, his attack speed does go up. So he does a lot of chances to get that proc up very easily.
Yeah. I picked up my rod because I needed to tank up. I guess I lied about the first thing I wanted is, but I think that's one of the things I started realizing later on in this game. I needed to tank up though, and I wanted that rod.
Respond.
Right here, we try to force something.
Unable to really pick up anything. Ezreal able to flash past the wall, unfortunately. There's the stun, so they're going to be able to back up. So you really wanted to fight that Turek, but unfortunately not really going to work out for you.
I was thinking no fear. That's what I was thinking. I fear nothing. And then Renekton actually got the kill. I believe Soraka ulted. I don't know.
They'll pick up most of the race from the other side of that.
Yep.
Looks like Nunu's going to fish him off. Or Urgot there.
I noticed that this Jarvan and I wanted it. I wanted these kills, so I tried to block them off, but I choked on it.
Well, the wall on Smartcast is really odd. You can control it more when you don't have it on Smartcast, but that's a really good escape for Jarvan there, able to jump onto Urgot, then back out with a flash. But he jumps back in, which was kind of dumb because his team wasn't wanting to fight that. And he and Ezreal both on no mana, not really able to do too much, both of them really relying on their moves there. So that works out better in your favor. That Jarvan kind of died for no reason. They should have backed off there and cut their losses, but unable to do it.
My team wanted a Baron. They're like, oh, let's Baron. I'm like, okay, Anivia with no mana. I'll snowball to death. Just give me blue and then we can do it. And this Urgot realizes, he's like, you guys are idiots. Like, give her blue first.
So there's Tarek exploring, you know.
And they wanted to fight too, like right there. I was like, hold up. Like, let me get blue.
There's the blue, finally, so you're able to have your mana back. So they looks like Tarek's just trying to stop you. Jace is coming in here too, so this could end up kind of badly if you stick around too much.
I'm just trying to get him away, like, go away. You don't belong here.
So that's another good thing about Anivia. If you are retreating through, like, you know, through the jungle right here, you can put up a wall right here. If your team gets to the other side, then your team's good. They either have to flash to try to catch you, or they, you know, they just have to back off because they're not going to be able to catch you at that point. So that Tarek being comedic there, because Tarek does say in his joke that gems are outrageous, so he's making jokes with his own character. Very clever guy, folks.
This comment that this guy said, Annie is scary, she isn't. Like, she was not a problem.
Yeah, she really looks like she's blowing her moves on them steps. There's the unholy grail, excuse me. So picking that up, so now your mana's not going to be as big of a problem. You'll be able to get it back, and then if you are getting assists and kills or whatever, it will proc that unique passive. It's got so many unique passives, look at it. So it is 12% there, and you got cooldown reduction too.
Oh, yeah. I was excited once I got this item. I knew I was going to start dominating because that's a strong item on Anivia. It's one of, I think it's her, like, core item. I feel like it is. Not even tier. Like, I don't think you need tier anymore after this item came out. Because tier is, like, relying on, like, it's not like a lane phase. Like, Chalice it has magic resist. And most AP carries run magic resist.
So there you're getting jumped on, stunned, and able to get out before anybody else can really do anything to you. So Rocket there kind of getting picked up, but they really don't have enough damage right now with Annie's cooldowns being blown. Nunu's coming in here. Looks really dangerous for that guy if you're going to be able to just get one Q off or something. You're going to pick up that guy. Looks like you wanted it, but you're going to focus on that Annie instead. With the proc down, and then you're stunned again. Egg is up, so you're very safe. Enemy team can't focus on you because, you know, you're out of the fight, but you're coming back in here. You'll have most of your mana. Jason's coming around the side here, away from the team. You're able to keep him out of the fight so they can't support his team. Renekton there, gonna be picked up, it looks like. Not enough health to really do anything. That guy nowhere to go with that wall there. He has no escape. That looks like Flash was down too. Ezreal does get picked up and swapped. Flashes back into there. He could have played that better. Should have jumped down to this side. Would have probably been able to get away, maybe, if he flashed down that way. But jump back into the Anivia slow, and then Anivia picking up even more kills here. So after that fight, what were your thoughts?
I thought we won, like, easy. It was actually a really good fight because I positioned myself away from the fight if I was about to die, and so I just went into egg, and then I saw Jace. I was like, I'll pick him up easy. I have Ignite up, and I have quite a bit of AP now. And I picked him up, and then just went back into the fight and saw Ezreal, and he just totally derped. I was like, oh, well, that was easy. I didn't really have to do much. Bait them into like, fight my team, and then They like burnt Tibbers on me, so we forced the fight.
Without that Tibber stun, because that egg was up, they bursted that Tibber stun, and Annie was kind of useless, because I think she used her full combo on him.
Yeah.
That fire grasp and everything. Another thing was the positioning that you put that team in. They were very split up very quickly. Jace looks like he picked the wrong side to come around. If he would have come through this bush in mid, it might have worked out better for them, and they might have been able to get away with fewer deaths. But really, there wasn't much they could do there. They were so split up, and then when you walled him, he had absolutely nowhere to go and nothing to do. Just dropped dead. So they're keeping the people away. Nunu channeling an ultimate, able to pick up 2 of them with a full channel. Losing a little chunk of their hell. I don't know what items he's got. Got a lot of gold per 5 still, but able to pick up that kill there. Ezreal trying to run away, gonna flash out of there. Speed boost there as well. That's a really nice little wall with that speed boost, so it's really helpful for his team. So Tara coming around there, not really in a position to do much. Does get slowed. Looks like that team wants to try to support. Annie does have her stun. I don't think Tibbers is up, however. Nope, so she probably would have burnt it down, and Urgot tried to pick him up. Urgot's getting real beefy with that Guardian Angel. Ezreal won't even be able to touch him, it looks like, at that point, but frozen melon and everything. There was a nice swap there, and she has nowhere to go. She has no mana. Unfortunately, looks like you're going to die to Ignite there, taking off. Ugh.
Dramatic death from Bird.
Bird feed. So at this point, what were you thinking? It looks like on this fight here, you went...
They chased...
1 for 3.
Renekton chased Tarek. Like, who cares about Tarek? Honestly, just come help us fight, kill Annie and the DPS, we can push for the win. This Jace is going full dirt.
Yeah, Jay should have backed off there, honestly, to try to defend his turret. Because now it's Ezreal who can do something. Well, never mind, Ezreal died, so it's Jarvan, I think. I think everybody else died on their team, yeah.
Yeah, Jarvan... I don't know where he went, honestly. And I don't know why Jace is thinking he can kill a weak Renekton or whoever it was, Urgot, when they have Soraka. We have Soraka, so it's like, what are you doing?
And the team did kind of mess it up. They did a good job in trying to focus you down because you have so much AoE damage right now. So they were able to focus you, but they didn't have their combos up. They should have waited for the fight either under tower or something later. Because, I mean, once Tarek got chased off this way, Renekton was out of the fight. That was better for them than Tarek being out of the fight. Because Tarek, he does have a stun right now and the Aegis, but that's not enough, you know, for their team to stay alive or do enough damage to somebody. So they had the advantage there in that fight, but they weren't able to utilize it. Annie's cooldowns were still up, so she wasn't able to burst somebody down. That Urgot, you know, he got stunned, but that did nothing to him. He didn't care at all. And I got a Banshee Veil too. This guy's not going to die right now, unless they like hard focus him, which would be kind of dumb. He's far enough behind. He doesn't have like hardly any damage. He can poke you kind of, but not really do too much there. He was able to pick up Ezreal over the wall too with the corrosive charge into his Q as well.
Right now I'm getting blue, and we want to force Baron.
They pinged right there because Ezreal and Annie were down here. If they go for a Baron, they might not be able to make it in time. Annie did come back into mid, so it looks like she was kind of aware of her surroundings more than Ezreal is.
I don't know if... oh, yeah, we did have Oracles, and we wanted to, like, force it. Because I think Anivia is a Baron shredder with her just constant damage, so...
So with that blue buff, plus... the Unholy Grail, you have so much mana regen right now. You're able to keep that R down for a very extended period of time, and then when you don't need it, turn it off and get a ton back. So the wall off a lot of the team there, stop there, engage, able to swap out Annie. Very good Urgot ultimate. Oh, pick up that Annie almost instantly. She did nothing for that fight. Nunu ultimate there, trying to flash out. There's another flash thing, get away. Jay's backing up to behind you guys, but he's trying to focus Urgot. Now it looks like he knows that's a bad idea. He's not really doing anything. It looks like he's scared to fight and just going to run away there. And then Soraka and everybody else picking up that Jarvan very easily. It was an amazing fight, able to stop that wall. That wall into Urgot was awesome. They'll pull her across the wall. She had nothing to do, nowhere to go, able to go. So there's that scary combo comment. Jace really didn't try to do anything. I don't even think he auto-attacked anybody in that fight. Maybe then Urgot the one time.
I zoned him out. And the way he positioned himself, what went through my mind is I ignored him. I was like, well, Jace, he's doing nothing. I'm going to go join the fight. And he legitimately was just scared of, like, coming near me. I was like, go away. Let me do my thing. And it worked out. So I was like, lol.
Yeah, that Jace could have done something better. He should have jumped in there and, like, tried to slap Anivia away from the fight to stop her ulti from proccing on her entire team. But he just really didn't do anything. He's just so scared to come in and try to fight or do anything that he just didn't even auto-attack. Just kind of walked away.
And if you notice, I kept that ult in that little bush because I was I just kept it there because just in case Jace was coming. I just kept it there, even though it wasn't hitting anyone. I was using it as a utility tool. Like, stay away from this. Like, that's what I learned very quickly that Anivia is a very, very powerful AP carry after this game. I was like, wow, she's easy to play too. I thought she was difficult, but there's some little things you can learn with her, but I enjoyed playing her.
Like you said earlier, the main thing you gotta focus on is her wall. That's her hardest thing to get down. If you can get good wall positions, though, it can make your team fight so much easier because you're able to burst out that Annie with that combo there, pulling her across the wall so easily. Looks like Nunu's running away. It's really hard to chase down a Nunu, even with all that speed boost. It looks like they really want to go for it, but I don't think they're gonna catch him with that blood boil. So there's the entire enemy team chasing Nunu. I don't think Nunu's that valuable a target. There was the stun though, so he is going to get picked up. Wasting so many cooldowns on just that one guy down there. So,
I got my Wheel of Ancients and needlessly large rod, and then a health, or a loot pot. I'm going to be hitting like truck.
So there's Annie sitting on 380, so you have more blade power, and you don't need like 1,000 blade powder on an ability power, on Anivia to be scary. So you do consistent damage and then sudden burst. So that's what's really scary about Anivia. You can stall out creeps and just kill them instantly. So cute, just picking up random creep kill for you. But you try to back you off there. You know, you try to wall somebody. That would have been pretty well. If you could get Annie there and Soraka Silencer, you probably would have been able to pick up the kill. And Urgot was there too, so you know you're probably pretty safe down there. Looks like Jace was in that bush, not really wanting to mess with you too much.
I knew he was in that bush. I don't know. I was like, someone's in there. Why are they're baiting this fight? So I'm just gonna go put something in there, and then of course he shoots me with whatever move he shot me with. I don't even know what it is.
I don't know Jason's move, so I think it was like his Q or something from his
I was thinking
move.
his Q, but I don't know.
Because it gets more powerful when you shoot it through that gate thing. So there again, you know, throwing that wall in a bush. If they're in that bush, you might have split up the team there, or just push them away so they can't zerg in and engage. So you saw somebody down here. Looks like Jarvan, very lonesome. Ezreal is there, however. So it looks like they're going to get engaged on. They really want to fight this right now, but I don't see Annie anywhere on the map. I don't know if she went back to base or whatever, so you got bursted up, but you're able to flash, and your egg is up, so if they try to focus you, they're going to get picked up by the rest of your team here, so they're trying to put you down, not really doing pick up. There's a new ult, so Anivia barely survived, got that managed, because there's Tarek getting picked up, and, you know, Annie came in way too late to that fight. She was nowhere near in time. They should not have tried to zerg in and fight you guys there. That was a 5v4, essentially. Now, there's the ace and double kill, so it looks like this game is in the back pocket, just going to be able to push through mid and win there. And there's a surrender as well.
What actually happened, I didn't actually flash that Jason knocked me out of that Jarvan ult. I was laughing so hard. Like, he made the biggest mistake. I was like, okay, well, I'm screwed. And I didn't notice Annie. I didn't know where Annie was, so I was like, okay, I'll live. And then she just came in way too late, and I thought, that game was just way too easy. They played it horribly. That's solo queue for you, though.
Yeah.
I think our team had way better teamwork. It's just one of those teams that you find, and you're like, oh, it worked out.
Everybody was talking, able to keep the communication up, which is very important once you get into higher level of play. Able to, you know, say, hey, my lane's gone, so it's probably heading down to you. You're extended, you should back off, or whatever else along there. That Annie, they shouldn't have fought without her in that last fight. If they would have fought with her there, they would have had a better chance. You probably would have been picked up, because she probably would have instigated you to begin with to drop you into egg. And then they tried to kind of focus you after you dropped an egg, but then they realized that's a terrible idea, because the rest of your team was coming in, and Annie still wasn't there. She got in and was able to drop Tibbers on you, but you were still at half health at that point. They weren't able to do anything past there. So you're able to pick up the ace and then push in for the win.
I was the only one that was weak, too. I was the only one that was weak behind or below half health. And one thing that that most people should start focusing on, that a little tip that would help, is if you feel like your lane's rotating towards another lane, go with it. Because when I went bot to get my first kill, I rotated on total like instinct, like, oh, she's gonna go bot, like that's the lane that she's gonna go, and because that's what Annies do, they roam, and she's not going top, and she did, and I got a kill for it. You just got to go with your gut and rotate. That's one tip.
So if you notice if you have like ward someone, you see a team fight's going down, like you saw that, you have to make damn sure that your team is gonna engage, or you'll end up getting baited by a team, because it looked like that team was gonna fight from the positions on the map and what he could have seen. It looked like they were gonna fight that, so that's why he moved into the river. Unfortunately, they all backed out and they didn't want to even try that, and so you got picked up easily by the entire enemy team walking into that bush.
Yeah, that's a problem too. You have to make sure that you're gonna do something, and I got baited super hard. I don't know. I could have probably backed off, but you never know. Like if I backed off and they actually engaged, then I look like the bad guy. Then I get screamed at like, Anivia never came. She's farming mid. I'm like, well, I tried.
Yeah, so with Anivia, your early game isn't as strong unless you're hitting all of your Qs. Your ninja Qs, you can burst people and get them out of lane real easy. But with the boot 3-pot metagame right now, it's very hard to be able to do that and keep up that damage and, you know, sustain mana in the lane. She doesn't have a move like Annie that restores her mana. So the Chalice, the new item, I thought it only gave you 80 ability power, but it's 90. That's a lot of ability power from an item.
It is.
Especially something that doesn't require a needlessly large rod. I think that's more than Hourglass.
It is, I believe.
AP, and it gives you the magic resist like you're speaking of earlier.
And it gives you 3 passives. I think it's like the most powerful item on an AP carry. Like, because I mean, it gives you so much. Like, if you're fighting without blue buff, you get a kill. You're getting 12% of your mana back. You get 15% cooldown reduction, and a lot of mana regen. I mean, that's just off the charts. It's and hella AP.
And then even for fighting in lane, that magic resist on mid, you know, you're fighting AP, so that magic resist will save your life. It saved his life from that first Annie combo. Wasn't able to, you know, burst him down fast enough.
It's one of my favorite items. I love that item. It's probably my favorite AP mid item. Like, that is the item I'm going to get because then I can push without blue buff for a long time and I'm tanky.
Alright, so that was our first player thoughts here from the LOL house. So it's very nice having Shmack here, able to commentate with me, you know, go through his thoughts. We're planning on doing more of these. We'll see how they go. We'll do it with other people. The one thing that Shmack is offering, limited time offer here, is if you put enough requests for a champion and a build, he will play it for you, and then I'll commentate over it.
In a ranked game.
In a ranked game at his, you know, 1700 elo, whatever he's at now. So don't be, obviously, if it's super troll, like,
AP
all
AP
Garen, like, obviously, you know, we're not going to do that. We don't want him to, like, straight up lose. But if you think it's a viable build on a viable champion on a team, you know, he'll try it out for you and, you know, we'll do another thoughts on it. You know, say, here's what it worked with, here's what it didn't work, and we'll go through it there. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.